Okay, so yeah, breathwork's taken for granted nowadays. We come into this life with a breath and we leave with a breath, and if we don't learn how to really control our breath, it can lead to so many different diseases within our body. And the opposite to that is when we do learn to breathe properly, we can learn to manage our stress, we can boost our immune system, we can alter our state of consciousness, we can get these amazing feelings of joy, peace, happiness, ecstasy. We can even get feelings and create sensations and chemicals within our body which which I always had to look outside of ourselves for in drugs and alcohol. But in actual fact, there's so many different reasons, and to learn to breathe properly, in my opinion, is the most imperative thing that anyone can do. If you've never done breathwork before, there may be some misconceptions where people think that you just go to a room and you're breathing and then you getting high to some music or whatnot. Now, breathwork can be used anytime, any point of the day, and for literally any reason. Now, there's different types of breathing exercises that are going to help to reduce anxiety. There's also different exercises that are going to boost your energy. So if you need to go and have a talk in front of people, or you need to go speak to your boss and you need a bit of energy, then there's certain techniques that we can do just for that. If we need to calm down the nervous system by breathing correctly, we can gain access to our autonomic nervous system and we can control our responses which we thought previously were not within our control. People think that breathwork is this woo-woo hippie kind of stuff where people want to open their third eye and all of this crazy stuff, right? But I want to explain to you that breathwork is literally for everyone. Now, 5 years ago, if I had told you that I'd be sitting here with my shirt off in front of Esvedra explaining to you what breathwork is, I would have probably told you I was crazy. However, there's so much science to back up the benefits of breathwork and how it can benefit you in your everyday life. Now, I used to be super stressed out, super angry, super unhealthy, ill, overweight, and breathwork was a big key part in my change. Now, one of the reasons that it's helpful for you is it's on a physical level is going to boost your immune system. So we can, by learning how to breathe properly, we're actually massaging different organs within the body, and this brings fresh oxygenated blood to the cells within the body and to different organs within the body. So just for example, we have our thymus gland, which is located above our heart, which is responsible for our white blood cell production, which is helpful to boost our immune system. Now, by just learning how to breathe deeply, we can massage that organ, bring fresh oxygenated blood, and improve the amount of blood cells that we create in that area. So before we begin any breathing exercises, I want to stress how vitally important it is to be breathing in and out through our nose, and our nose only. Now, there's three main reasons we should be breathing in through our nose as opposed to our mouth. Now, the first reason we should be breathing in through our nose is because when we breathe in through our nose, the nose is designed in a certain way that it has filters to filter out any impurities in the air. Now, if you're living in a city or anywhere in the world really, unless you're in a jungle, we have impurities, dust particles, all of these nasties in the air that we're breathing in. Now, when we breathe in through our mouth, that oxygen goes straight into the mouth, down the lungs, through the trachea, into the alveoles, and then straight into the bloodstream. So there's zero filters to take out any of those impurities in the air. Now, when we breathe in through the nose, the way that the nose is designed, it's designed in a sort of U-bend. So it goes all the way into the back of the throat and then down the trachea and into the lungs. But within the nose, there's tiny hairs and they collect all the dust particles and impurities. So you'll see this having bogies in your nose, for example. Not only that, at the back of the throat there is mucous membrane, so they will collect any remaining dust particles, and when they're collected at the back of the throat, we'll swallow them and digest them through the enzymes in the stomach rather than going directly through the lungs and into the bloodstream. So that's the first reason that we'll be breathing in and out through the nose, is to purify the air as it goes into the lungs. The second reason that we're going to be breathing in and out through our nose only is because when we breathe in and out through our nose, we actually heat the air up. We heat the oxygen up so that it goes into the lungs and it doesn't damage the lungs. Now, if you've ever been in a cold country or you've ever been snowboarding or skiing, you probably would have noticed this yourself. If you breathed in through your mouth, your lungs will start to hurt when it's winter. Now, when you breathe in and out through your nose, we actually heat the air up so it goes into the lungs at a natural temperature. And you can see this by being in a cold country. You'll start to see icicles that will freeze on the end of the nose. This is because of condensation. As the oxygen goes into the nose, it heats up and then freezes from the outside air, which creates icicles on the nose. So that's the second reason, to heat up the air and allow the oxygen to go into the lungs at a natural temperature and not to damage the lungs. Now, the third reason we would be breathing in and out through the nose is for prana. Now, prana in the yogic philosophy is life force energy. The Chinese would call it chi, Christians would call it God, scientists would call it energy. All the same thing. Now, attached to every single oxygen molecule is prana, or life force energy, the energy that keeps everything running in this universe. Now, when we breathe in through the nose, at the top of the nose, located just here, is a organ or a bunch of nerve cells called the olfactory bulb. There's around 52,000 of these sensory nerves just at the top of the nose here, which is responsible for smell. Now, that is the connection between our nose and our brain. So as we breathe in the oxygen through the nose, that oxygen and that prana that goes directly in through the nose goes directly to the brain, and then can go straight into the pineal gland, which is responsible for these altered states of consciousness, where you can get feelings of euphoria, ecstasy, happiness, joy, all of these positive emotions that we get when we breathe deeply in through the nostrils, which we do not get when we breathe in through the mouth. So it's vitally important that we should be breathing only in through the nose and only out through the nose. Even when we're running, we should be training ourselves to be breathing in and out through the nose. Now, you can have a look online, and I'm sure we'll put on some photos of this, but actually when we breathe in through the mouth as opposed to the nose, we actually can disfigure the jaw. So there's certain figures that we can have when we don't breathe properly in through the nose and only through the mouth. It can really affect our jaw and the way that we look. So always be breathing in and out through the nose unless I state otherwise. So now we're going to move on to the 3 parts of the breath. Okay, so to begin, we're going to break down the breath into 3 parts. So the lungs, they go from the top here all the way down to the ribs just below here. So to start off, we're going to start with our belly breath. The way we do this, we bring our right hand to our belly, and we're always going to be breathing in and out through the nose. We're going to take a big deep inhalation through the nose, and we're going to expand the belly like we have a baby. So inhaling fully and exhale, contract. We're going to take 11 of these breaths together. So I want you all to bring your right hand to your belly. Take a big inhale through the nose, expand the belly, and exhale, contract. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Now bring the hands down, bring the eyes down to a close, and allow the breath to flow in naturally in through the nostrils and out through the nostrils. Now as you're doing this, just feeling the sensation you've created using the breath alone. Notice any sensations in the body. Notice where the mind is right now. And just feeling the sensations as the flow of the breath flows in and out at its natural rhythm. whenever you feel ready, you can slowly open your eyes, come back to the space that you're in. Now, this type of breathing is excellent to bring oxygen and vitality to the organs around the stomach and the sexual areas. So by breathing in this style, we actually give the internal organs a massage, and the internal organs here are digestive organs. So this is going to help with any digestive issues. This is also going to help with any sexual issues for men, and especially in men for prostate. So this will bring flow, vitality, fresh oxygenated blood to this area and movements. This is going to benefit you with your first and second chakra, so to help you feel grounded and at peace. So now we're going to move up the lungs to our mid-chest. So the mid-chest are the ribs just here. The way we do this, we bring our hands all around the ribs here in a sort of diamond shape, slightly squeezing the ribs, and the aim of this is to forcefully inhale through the nose and forcefully exhale through the nose. As we're doing this, we're expanding the ribs and contracting the ribs just like an accordion. So to do this, we all are going to bring our hands to our mid-chest, slightly squeezing the ribs. If you can't feel the contraction and the expansion and contraction, bring your hands and fingertips just below the chest here, below the sternum. And as you inhale and exhale, the hands will naturally be pulled apart by the ribs. So you can either do it that way, or you can bring the hands together, take a forceful inhale through the nose and forceful exhale, squeezing everything out. So we're going to take 11 deep breaths together. Same again after the 11th breath. Bring the eyes down to a close, allow the breath to flow back in naturally and feel every sensation. So sitting up nice and tall with a straight spine, cross-legged or in a comfortable seated position. Bring the hands to the ribs, slightly squeezing. Take a big inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Last one. 11. Now relax the hands down, bring the eyes down to a close once more, allow the breath to flow back in naturally at its natural rhythm through the nose, releasing any efforts in the shoulders, in the arms. Make sure everything's nice and loose, and once more feeling the sensations you've just created and noticing any differences in this breath compared to the previous one. Now in your own time you can slowly start to open your eyes, come back to the space. Now with this breathing exercise, focusing on the mid part of the chest, once again we are massaging the internal organs in this area. So the organs we have here are our lungs and our heart. So if anyone has any high blood pressure or any heart issues, this is going to bring fresh oxygenated blood and movement and exercise to this area. So this is going to help with any heart issues. Also, this is going to help to clear up the lungs. If you are a smoker, providing you don't continue smoking, this should clear the lungs up within about 2 weeks. Now, one other part of this breathing exercise in this area is located just above the heart here, is our thymus gland. Our thymus gland is responsible for creating white blood cells, and white blood cells are there to fight off any disease or viruses. So by breathing deeply like this every morning and bringing fresh oxygenated blood, is going to boost your immune system and boost the white blood cells productions. So now we're going to move up to the last 5 to 10% of the lungs. This is where most people are breathing. So most people are breathing with just the last 5 to 10% of their lungs. and they're breathing slowly in and out through their mouth. Now you might notice this in your own life. If you're stressed out, you'll be all hunched over and you'll be breathing in and out shallow through your mouth. So we're going to be breathing in and out through the nose deeply, and in this one we're just going to be focusing on the top 5%. So we're going to bring our right hand to the little dimple in the neck here, and as we breathe deeply in through the nose, we're going to raise the shoulders up, and then exhale through the nose, bring the shoulders down. So we're going to take 11 deep breaths once more. So whenever you're ready, sitting up nice and tall, straight spine, bring the right hand to the dimple in the neck, and with a big inhale, inhaling through the nose, the shoulders rise up, and exhale, they come down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Last one. 11. Now relax the hands down. Allow the breath to flow back in naturally once more. And once again, feeling the sensations in this breath compared to the previous two. Allowing the breath to flow in at its natural rhythm and feel every sensation. Noticing where the mind is at this present moment. Noticing any sensations in the physical body. Remembering not to get attached to any of these thoughts or feelings, but just to observe them. Now in your own time, whenever you feel ready, you can slowly open your eyes, come back to the space. Now with this breathing exercise and this part of the breath, this is going to help to open our 5th and our 6th chakra, so our throat chakra and our 3rd eye chakra. So this is going to bring oxygen and vitality to our throat, and it's going to help to clear out any blockages within the throat chakra. So if you're having any troubles with authentically communicating or speaking your truth, this is going to help to clear that area and help you to express yourself more authentically. This is also the connection to our 3rd eye, so the higher states of consciousness. So you may feel when you do this exercise a little bit lightheaded. This is just the energy moving all the way from the base of the spine up to the top of the head. So that's the 3 parts of the breath, and now we're going to combine that into one fluid movement. Now in the yogic philosophy, this is called Mahat Yoga Pranayama, which is otherwise known as the grand yogic breath. So the way we're going to do this, we combine those 3 movements into one fluid movement. So we're going to focus in on expanding the entirety of the lungs. So we're going to start with the belly, then make our way up to the mid-chest and then to the top of the chest. Now you can slightly curve the spine as you do this as well, but that's not entirely necessary. We want to focus mainly on expanding the 3 parts of the lungs. So it'll be belly, mid-chest, upper, and then exhaling from the bottom out. So from the belly, mid-chest, upper as well. So I'm going to demonstrate, and then we're going to do 11 breaths together. And after the 11th breath, we're going to inhale fully and hold the breath retention with the lungs full of air. So the way we do this, we would have exhaled everything out, squeezing everything from the belly, mid-chest, upper, slightly curve the spine, then inhale fully belly, then the mid-chest, and as you do that, the belly will slightly come in, and then up to the top part, and once the lungs are full of air, you'll then squeeze everything out through the nose from the bottom to the top, squeezing it all out. So now we're going to do 11 breaths together. After the 11th breath, you'll inhale fully, belly, mid-chest, upper, and once the lungs are full of air, you can bring the shoulders up, back and down, relax the stomach, tuck the chin slightly in, and just hold the lungs full of air. You'll hold the lungs full of air until you feel like you need to breathe again, and when you feel like you need to breathe, you'll exhale fully and allow the breath to flow back in naturally. So whenever you're ready, we're going to sit up nice and tall, straight spine once more. Just bring the eyes down to the close for a second. Now you're going to take a regular inhale through the nose, and then exhale, squeeze everything out from the bottom to the top, exhaling through the nose. Then inhale, belly, mid-chest, upper, expanding the entirety of the lungs. And then exhale, squeeze everything out from the bottom to the top, exhale through the nose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Last one. Inhale fully. Hold the lungs full of air, shoulders up, back and down, relax the stomach, chin tucks into the chest, and hold the lungs full of air for as long as possible. Now, whenever you feel the need to breathe again, you can slowly exhale through the nose. Just allow the breath to flow back in naturally once more, and feeling the sensations we've created as we exhale and allow the breath to flow back in. Now, whenever you feel ready, you can slowly come back to the space, begin to open your eyes. Now, with this breathing exercise, this is how we should be breathing every single day of our life. We should be always breathing in through our nose, and we should be expanding the entirety of the lungs. Now, when we breathe in and out through the nose, we gain direct access to our autonomic nervous system, and specifically our parasympathetic nervous system. So our parasympathetic nervous system is responsible for rest and digest, and our sympathetic nervous system is responsible for fight and flight. So when we're stressed out and anxious, we flood the system with adrenaline for us to fight any attackers. So this can happen when we're working, when we're literally doing anything in our day-to-day life that we perceive as danger. However, when we breathe deeply in and out through the nostrils, and we expand the entirety of the lungs, and we exhale through the nostrils as well, we signal to our body to switch on our parasympathetic nervous system, and we can then control ourselves and bring all of the nervous system down and relaxed. So you can focus on expanding the entirety of the lungs, and whenever you forget that and realize that you're stressed out, just take a few moments to notice how the breath is. Most of the time you'll be breathing in and out shallow through the mouth and tight chest. So when you do realize that, come back to this type of breathing exercise, expand the entirety of the breath. You can take 7 full deep breaths, and then just notice how the anxiety, how the stress, how the worries, how the fears just slowly dissipate away into relaxation.